With the recently released reveal of Ghost of Yotei basically being the next entry in the Ghost franchise and being a sequel to Ghost of Tsushima, it's all been confirmed that we are now going to move away from the protagonist of Ghost of Tsushima, Jin, and moving on to the new protagonist, Atsu. But was this the right call? Was this the right decision? Or was it ultimately the wrong decision that's going to leave us backstabbed? What is up? Hopefully you guys are having a wonderful day. Back with some more Ghost of Tsushima. And guys, one of the best parts about getting back in a game I haven't played for a little while is trying to relearn it because, man, I felt like a newborn baby. I'm absolutely terrible. I forgot all the commands and buttons and already failing right from the beginning. But nonetheless, I'm here to talk about whether it was the right decision with this game to move on from Jin and go to the new protagonist, Atsu. But first, I want to get to my own perspective of this whole thing before this whole game was revealed. So if you didn't know, obviously Ghost of Yotei. And by the way, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. If I'm not, let me know in the comment section down below. But Ghost of Yotei was recently revealed at the latest Sony State of Play. And obviously this is the next entry from the very famous Ghost of Tsushima, which I absolutely love and adore. I have a few videos on the channel if you're interested in checking them out. But nonetheless, when I first heard that there was a possibility of doing a sequel to Tsushima, I wasn't really thrilled at the chance of doing it. Not because I didn't think they could do it, but just more, I felt Ghost of Tsushima, and especially Jin's story, was kind of done. Like, they had a complete and satisfying tale, a complete beginning, middle, and end. I didn't feel like there was, like, room for more. Not that you couldn't do more. I could see maybe doing a little expansion. I know they had the one DLC expansion. I could see them doing that. But I don't know if it warrants having a whole new game. And just being called Ghost of Tsushima 2, I was just thinking, well, what were they really going to do? He had already liberated the entire island. He was the ghost. Like, what more could he do in the span of his lifetime that warrant an entire game in that same setting? You know, that was my whole big thing about wanting to do more. It's not that I don't like Jin. I thought he was cool and awesome. And I loved his tale. And I loved all the characters surrounding him. But I just didn't think it warrant him getting a whole, completely another game. I just feel like that would just be adding on to it and just kind of overstaying its welcome. So, from that standpoint, hearing that they could possibly do another Ghost game, I was just thinking, I don't know if I necessarily want it. Not that it wouldn't make me play it. I'd still play it, but I just feel like it's just more, you know, too much of a good thing is not necessarily a good thing. But now that we have the reveal of Ghost of Yotei, so do I think this was the right decision? Not only do I think it was the right decision, I think they did it the right way too. I think it was the only decision they honestly could do, and I think it was the perfect decision. You know, this game obviously takes place a little over 300 years after the events of Ghost of Tsushima. Not only that, it takes place in a completely different area, which I think is also important because I just don't want to go back to the same exact area. I like to visit new areas, have different landscapes and stuff to explore. There might be similarities, obviously. It is the same studio people making it. But nonetheless, I like to see a completely different area, completely different landscape, and then completely different characters and stuff like that. And I was hearing what they were saying, how they like kind of want these things to feel like origin stories for different ghosts. And I'm all for it. I think that's cool, and they can do a lot of things. But also, I don't think you're out of luck if you are a Jin Sakai fan. And I get, you know, you want to see a cool character again. I get that. But I also think that he will appear in some shape or form in this game. Because you think about it, yes, he's obviously dead, but just because something is dead doesn't mean we haven't seen it in Ghost of Tsushima. We had a lot of, you know, those duels. You know, we had those samurai-type duel missions where you fight iconic enemies or even Oni demons or something like that, or manifestations of them. I feel like that'd be really cool to have, like, I'm almost booking on it to happen, where you have a really cool mission where you have to confront the actual Ghost of Tsushima, who's some, like, reincarnation of like a demon of them, and you, like, have a phase where, like, you know, phase 1, you face him, right, and then, like, just when you think you won, he has a phase 2 where he goes in his ghost mode, which I still think is cool as hell, seeing how all his enemies will react terrified of it, and you have to beat him, and it's probably going to be the hardest fight in the game. It's probably like one of those, like, extra, like, post main campaign missions or something like that, where you have to get, like, it gives you, like, the best stuff or the best gear, or maybe one of his iconic, weapons or armaments. I think that'd just be dope as hell. So I definitely do book on Jin coming up some shape and form. Not to mention having the whole Oni mode, and I hope they do bring it back. And because as I said, that whole Oni demon online mode thing, that thing was so much fun. Whether you're doing the story parts or teaming up with other players just to do like the whole wave raid things, those things were so much fun. Not just visually to look at, but just how hard someone were to do, but the satisfaction when you do accomplish it. That was a lot of fun. But my point being is that, yes, I don't think we will see Jin in some shape or form in the game, so I don't think you're out of luck there. But ultimately, I don't think Jin was also a character that we were going to see in multiple games be a main protagonist. So I have absolutely no problem with them moving on to another person. And the way they were talking about it, it seems like they might have more origin stories for other characters down the line. And Sucker Punch has yet to give me a game that I didn't absolutely love. I love their Infamous series, and I love Ghost of Tsushima, so I'm all for it. So ultimately, yes, I do agree with this decision. I agree with it being in a different location, and I agree with it being a completely different character. And having it being set in 1600s, we'll see a lot of new things. Obviously, I think we'll see more upgrades in like firearms. We'll see a different style of assassin. I hope they go even more in depth with the story and the characters. Because as I said, I did enjoy Jin. I liked his story. Going from the honorable samurai to being dishonorable and stuff, and having to, doing whatever it takes to win, but losing his honor and love with his family and his uncle. So I definitely could see that. But another thing I liked in Ghost of Tsushima, I liked the fact that you also had the interesting characters where you do the interesting missions. You encounter like iconic armaments from soldiers in the past, or warriors of the past, and how some of them might be demons. So I definitely can't wait to see that. But we'll have to see what they do with Atsu. As we don't know much about the story, about what they do. I've seen a few things read online what they could possibly do, but being a part of Yotei, and I believe inside of the Hokkaido block, things you could do with it. Because if it just took place in Tsushima again, we would just be seeing the same stuff again. Not to say that it couldn't be done, but I feel like this just gives a lot more, fresher newness and not the same thing. But regardless of where it takes place, one thing I will definitely 100% say, it is absolutely going to be a beautiful experience. Because sometimes when I'm playing Ghost of Tsushima, I'll just be mesmerized by how beautiful the game looks. Because the game looks absolutely amazing. As I got it first when I played on PS4, this is obviously on the PS5, and it just looks phenomenal. And I'm also going to get lost in the photo mode, I can definitely tell you that. But ultimately, if you are a little bummed out with Jim, I get it and understand it, but I do believe he is going to appear in a really cool way, somehow, some way, in some type of mission. And who knows, maybe you'll even team up with him some way in the whole Oni mode, because I do expect them to bring that mode back, but that'll be cool. But I also think it was the right decision to move on to a brand new character and even enhance the brand of the Ghost brand a lot more, because I can see them doing a lot of things with it. And so far, Sucker Punch has let me down, but hopefully I made that abundantly clear to you guys. But nonetheless, that is going to be it. And as I always say, that's my opinion. I want to hear your guys' opinion. Do you think it was the right move to move on to a brand new character and not continue Jin Sakai's storyline? Do you think Jin Sakai's storyline was basically complete and they didn't need to overdo it? Do you like it's also in a different area, not just the same area in Tsushima? Let me know down in the comment section down below. But thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this video, and hopefully I can see you guys back in the next one. Thanks, and I'll see you all later. Peace.